If you play like this, you'll win your next game of Pokemon Unite. I'm sure many of us are smiling as we can see this Mewtwo get absolutely destroyed into smithereens by a Charizard and Leafeon. But in this video, I'll be revealing some of my top secrets into how to beat Mewtwo despite the circumstances we face, and how that will cause you to win your next game of Pokemon Unite. In this video, I'm playing Charizard. I'll be going over the secrets I use that even on a Pokemon like Charizard, I can defeat Mewtwo on many occasions. The emblems and items I run on Charizard will be on the screen, and as much as I love playing Charizard, I would recommend that you use these tips on other diving type characters because it can be a bit slow to become powerful, at least on Charizard that is. So here are the tips. We have 3 essential things, starting with number 1, handling setbacks. You're probably a bit confused. Why are we handling setbacks? Well, we have to understand the nature of Mewtwo is that it is the strongest Pokemon. It is better than whatever we're playing. That's just it. You know, no trickery. Everything is up front. It is better. The stats are better. The damage is better. You know, we just look over the other lanes and Mewtwo's killing everyone. There's nothing we can do about it. That's okay. Don't expect to beat it without some trickery, some planning, thinking ahead, breaking down how the playstyle works. We can outskill the Mewtwo at times, but it is highly in their favor. Don't take these full-on confrontations, you know, be smart about it, trick the Mewtwo, get them to walk to places they don't want to, go into their jungle, mess with them all game. It's about being this type of player against the Mewtwo. Don't get demoralized against Mewtwo either. You're gonna be discouraged to go after Mewtwo. After 1 or 2 times diving this Mewtwo, you're gonna think, oh, well, I can't beat him ever. And that's what I end up feeling this game. You'll see that throughout the course of this game, I tried to Unite move the Mewtwo several times, and I'm left with Mewtwo on literally 1 health 3 times. 3 separate occasions where I'm unable to take the Mewtwo down. Yet, doesn't stop me from getting the clip at the end of the game where Leafeon and I completely eviscerate the Mewtwo at Rayquaza, giving our team the victory. So, Mewtwo can be a very powerful Pokemon. It has a very powerful start as well, so if it gets ahead, don't forget it can be taken down later. You can beat him, you can beat it later. It's about playing with wit, strength, and integrity. Be smart about how to take this guy on. A little bit of trickery, a little bit of playing around what it's gonna do, and we'll get the ball rolling eventually. So those are my best tips for handling the setbacks. Just remember, once again, 1, realistic expectations. Mewtwo's gonna be broken. 2, don't fight it upright unless you can have a little bit of a way to beat it or you really are confident. 3, don't get demoralized. Don't give up. Keep going at this guy. And 4, remember, every Pokemon can die at the later ends of the game. So those are my 4 tips for number 1 point, handling the setbacks. So we jump into number 2 here, and this is more about actually how we kill this guy, because this Mewtwo thing, it is not fair. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Mewtwo X as well, but mainly Mewtwo Y, because that's probably the menace that's ruining everyone's games. You're going to have to close the distance on Mewtwo Y, and it's the opposite on Mewtwo X. You need to keep your distance. The number 1 thing to defeating these characters is having the ability to immobilize them or close the gap on them. In particular for Mewtwo Y, closing the gap and immobilizing it almost guarantees success. That's going to mean that your character is going to have that. If you look on Charizard, I have my Unite move, I have Flamethrower, I have Fire Blast. The Fire Blast slows the Mewtwo, I get a speed buff on the Flamethrower, and I can pick him up. Now you can see it can't kill him because he's got Blissey Unite move. That's fine. But that's a big thing to consider. Let's just say you do close this gap. We need to actually have the damage to destroy this guy. Because the moment he gets out of this immobilization, he gets like out of the jump scare, they're gonna start hitting you, and it's gonna hit a lot. It's gonna hit hard. It's not gonna be nice. Not gonna be fun. So make sure you have characters with those damage. Like Urshifu is one, Leafeon is another. These are characters that when you jump on, you still have crowd control. You still have lots of damage enabled. It's a lot. They usually can't take it, even with a Blissey. So remember, keep that in mind. Play around that. Do these ideas to be actually able to take this Mewtwo down. You're gonna have, as I said, this gap closer. Damage immobilization, and you have to have actual damage. Like remember, you can't just jump onto him as a tank and think, oh okay, I'm gonna do it all myself. The tank should work with a teammate. The support should work with a teammate. These are characters that can't take down Mewtwo by themselves. But if you are a speedster, if you are an all-rounder, if you are an attacker that has some potential to defeat Mewtwo, remember and keep in mind, yes, you can do some certain tactics. We can, cheese him from a bush, stun him, damage him, catch up to him after he pushes you again. These are the tactics of how to beat them. Remember, without Mega, they're a lot weaker. I want you to keep in mind two important things, and I'm going to repeat them later into the video, but Mega and Unite Move. Unite Move gives him Unstoppable. You need to remember this fact. If you do not remember that he gets Unstoppable from Unite Move, you will end up dying and wondering, this character is so overpowered. It is overpowered, yes, you're not wrong there. But we can defeat him, and we can play around it. We can do some little tactics about him. So don't get overly, too in your head about it. Now, the Mega form, that's when it's, look, if it's a Mewtwo in Mega form, unless you are guaranteed to beat them, don't dive them. Because Mewtwo Mega form is very gross. So, looking into the deeper parts of this game right now, I'm going to go and tell you about the third point. So just after we've gone number 2, actually killing the Mewtwo, number 3 is going to talk about Mewtwo and Rayquaza. Now, as we all probably know by now, Rayquaza has a big impact into the end of the game. And it really dictates who should win the game, depending on how the fight or whatever happens at Rayquaza goes. So, a key interaction I want you to be aware of during this Rayquaza, once again to reiterate, to remind you guys, you need to remember that its Unite move makes it unstoppable. It also launches a beam that stuns basically your whole team unless it misses. This can be fatal and devastating for engages. You engage, Mewtwo Unite moves, it stuns half your guys and they all die. This is what you can't allow it to get away with. You have to remember that it stuns. You have to remember you keep your pacing, keep your timing. When you're on top of the Mewtwo, make sure you aren't using your immobilization abilities when it is unstoppable. Wait its time, give it a second to react. Then you go boom, and we get him out of the picture. Now, the Mega is the other thing to wonder. If it is close to the Mega bar, which is that small little red bar underneath its health bar, is it the right time to engage? Maybe not. You can wait for him to get the Mega form. You can let him get Mega form, you can let him do his thing, and then we can kill him up. Then we can kill him up right, because the regular Mewtwo isn't anywhere near as powerful. Even if it's broken, it's still nowhere near as powerful as a regular Pokemon, in that sense. So, now that we've looked at those two interactions, and you're keeping that in mind now, guys, I want you at the top of that list. Diving Mewtwo successfully is all about identifying who's backing this guy up, Who's his sugar daddy or whatever. This guy, as you can see in the screen, the Blissey is following this guy around, just feeding him eggs permanently. Now, I'm glad it's not helping hand and he's not 1v9ing us, but once again, it's about identifying, okay, we know that there's a support there. How do we split them up? If they're split up, is it a good time to go in? This is very good and key factors, because that Blissey is going to be very useless if it doesn't have a Mewtwo to help. So, looking at this idea, what can we do about the Blissey, about the Mewtwo? Okay, I wait for the opportunity when Blissey and Mewtwo aren't looking at each other. Now, Rayquaza, it always can be attacked. As you can see, I just breathe a little bit of fire on them to attack them, to sort of keep them confused. We get some damage, and finally we get the engage on. Boom! Right away into it. Our whole team comes in, collapse. There's no Blissey Unite move. It's too late. And we're just, we're vibing here. This is really nice. We clean them up. The enemy team doesn't have much more left to fight. And we're actually going to end up winning this game. As you can see, this is the 4-man wipe. Sylvia on the top side. Just keep hitting. Just keep hitting. Just keep swimming. That's all I say. And very lucky for us, we get that again. And that is how you beat Mewtwo. As you can see, we defeat their team and wipe the Mewtwo, giving us victory despite no Mewtwo or Blissey on our side. It is possible, and I want to encourage you guys to take the Mewtwo down. Take Mewtwo's down. We can do it. It's not impossible. I've proven it here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please leave a comment, on something that you want to see next time. Join the Discord, sub to the channel, check me out on Twitch, yada yada, all the rest, guys. It's been absolutely wonderful. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. We are hoping to be able to do more in the future, but we are going to see how much we can do, what kind of videos, all this stuff that's going through my head. We'll figure it out, guys. I'll show you the end of the video, and once again, goodbye for now. Stay safe against Mewtwo. Suluwu out.